You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Vanderpump Rules After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Vanderpump Rules After Show.
Welcome to the Vanderpump Rules AFTERBUZZ TV After Show. This is Season 2, Episode 11, Ultimatum. I'm your host, Jake DuPree, along with my other lovely co-host.
Hi, I'm Kristina Zias.
And I am English Cleveland.
And I'm a grown woman. I'm not Michelle Renee. Hi, guys.
We're all grown women, honey. We're all grown women. So let's get into these grown women who don't act like grown women. They act like little children by...
Spoiled bratty little children.
Yeah, speaking of,
Sorry.
we come back and Katie has left the table and Stassi is upset. And I have to say that Stassi, I felt she is right to be mad at Katie for this thing. I don't know. I feel like she is validated in getting mad at her for leaving the table. It's her birthday.
No, I agree 100% that she's validated, but why her anger was a little bit over the top for the situation.
Yeah.
Like, she was screaming. There was veins popping out of her neck.
Forehead.
Like, I thought that was a little bit dramatic for the situation, but I agree that she should have been angry.
I don't know. Especially because she said before they went out to dinner, like,
right.
please, like, this is my birthday dinner, you know? But with that said, like, it was getting into, like, a little, like, WWE territory.
She came unhinged a little bit, like, screaming at her. I was like, whoa, all right, we're coming at her this way. I like it. I don't know. Stassi always brings. She's like, anytime she's on screen, this show is better.
Right.
I will say that. I will say that.
True.
Like, it's so
She
true,
carries
though.
the show. Yeah,
She does. And we'll get into some news and gossip, and I want to hear your opinions about her maybe getting her own show.
Ooh.
All right. So, Katie and Tom talk, and Tom, I think he's the sweetest. Like, that was the cutest conversation. He was like, "You're the stars and the moon," or something.
Yeah.
Like, that was really sweet.
But he did pour a drink on her the week before. So, like, you're the stars and the moon. Like, I don't know. Does she, like, so easily forget about that, too? Like, later on, she wants to rip Kristen's head apart for something else.
Yeah.
But before, she was like, that's it. Like, she was ready to break up with her boyfriend, Tom, too.
Well, they were both really drunk, though. I mean, I wouldn't pour a drink on someone I was dating, but I don't know.
But you'd pour a drink on
Someone you weren't dating.
Bye. Bye.
Well, I didn't. Okay, this is why I didn't necessarily like their conversation. I thought it was out of place. It went from her feeling like she was being attacked, or I don't actually really know why she was upset, to him confessing his love for her. Like,
Weird.
Okay, you love me, but I'm crying about something else, so shut up.
And it just seemed out of character that he would do something like that. Like, I would never think that he would do that.
Well, pour the drink?
Yeah.
He poured a drink on Stassi last year.
Yes, but not on his girlfriend. I wouldn't think that.
Maybe that's just his MO. Like,
Yeah.
that's his, like,
Pouring
way to
drinks.
diffuse the situation.
Definitely.
It's a little bitch move.
It
I would
is
say that.
really a
Yes.
bitch move.
She knocked it, though.
She
teetered it, and then he just kind of,
You're right.
followed through. So he was really to blame. She poured it on herself.
She started it. She definitely started it.
Oh, no. I mean, like, and then we saw on Instagram that Katie posted this response video, where she pours a drink on his head. It was really cute.
It's cute,
It's really
yeah.
fun. And she has dark hair again, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, she looks much
I'm trying
better.
to get them on our show next week. I tried to get them this week, but they're both working. And I'm anxious to ask her about her hairstyle, like what she thinks about seeing it back. What does she thinks about her hairstyle?
And there's she made a comment whenever he poured the drink, like, he's gonna have to, like, lick my toes or something. And then there's a video up on Bravo of him, like, giving
Licking
her
her
a massage.
toes?
Is it? I don't know. I didn't
saw
watch
lots
it.
of people tweeting
I don't
about
want
that.
to
It was
see her
weird.
lick her toes.
I think I don't know. I just saw it in his hand, so I don't know what he was about to do with it.
Yes. I don't know. But moving on. to the girls, they get Stassi. Stassi, like, she gets so mad, and then she goes up to her room, and they all, like, kind of rally together, and they're like, come on, let's go out. And I like that Sheena kind of encouraged her, and she really listened to Sheena. I feel like the two of them are meant to be friends, but Stassi just doesn't give her the chance. And it feels like, I think they're in a good place now, but I just think that Stassi was she just wants to keep her at an arm's distance all the time.
Well, I
don't know
feel
why.
like it's also Kristen and Katie kind of trying to keep Shayna at an arm's distance as well. Like, Stassi's ours. Get your own friend.
Yeah, don't mess with her.
It's so silly.
We were talking. I was talking about this with you. I don't know what it is. Like, why does everyone? It feels like everyone wants to be like Stassi's minions all the time.
Right.
And I don't get that. Like, why?
Well, it's funny because last season, when Katie and Kristen were on, they were always, like, very defensive, being like, we're not Stassi's little followers or her little bitches. But clearly we're seeing again and again that, I mean, kind of you are, actually.
What we see through editing and from the things that they capture on the show, this is what we see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just say
No,
that.
she makes the comment at the end of the show, which this is kind of moving ahead.
No, go ahead.
About her and Sheena. She really has proven to me that she really does want to be my friend. Proven to me like it's some kind of initiation to be her friend. So that to me was a little bit off.
Maybe
Like,
she just like mistreats you for like a certain amount of months, and then finally.
and
she's
then if
like,
you
"Okay,
survive, you've passed.
Right.
which is kind of fabulous. Like, that's amazing.
I feel like she thinks Sheena's a threat because Kristen and Katie, like, they don't have anything. Like, Sheena's like, I'm a pop star, I sing, I dance, and so she's like, I don't know, jealous, but she's more so like, it's a threat to her because she's ruling something, and
Yeah.
Stassi wants to rule everything.
I get that.
I see that.
Yeah,
That's a really
that's
good
a good point.
observation. I like that. All right, so we see the girls. We see the girls skinny dipping again. I don't know what it is about Cabo and their tops coming off, but they like
The
it.
producers were probably like, this is no action. Take your top off. And they're like, okay.
And then, of course, we go to the boys, and Jax conveniently says in front of the camera with everybody there, "Oh, I'm gonna go see Stassi and talk to her." Why, I don't know. And then he makes some weird point, like, "Oh, we've been kind of flirty or something." I'm like, I have not seen a flirty moment this entire time.
Well, I think what that actually meant was I bought you a gift and I want some. So
Let's go. And
Make
he's
it
probably
happen.
like, I think he might be a little bit of a nymphomaniac. I think we've seen that on the show a few times. So maybe he was trying to get some. And she was like, maybe he was like, it's your birthday present too from me. Penis.
That he is?
Yeah.
Ew.
There it is.
well, who doesn't want it on their birthday?
Not from Jax.
No, I don't want that. That has been a round the block, spread its seed. All right, and then when Stassi and Jack start talking, I don't know how this happened, but somehow they got into this whole conversation about Kristen and Tom and Ariana, and I'm like, how did this even get? Like, why are they talking about this?
Well, Stassi said that I guess she didn't want him around because he's a liar.
But then how does it like it?
I just feel like Stassi was kind of just being a troublemaker. I
Like
don't.
stirring the shit.
Yeah.
What I don't get is how does that not make Stassi look bad? Because if you come to me as my friend and tell me that your boyfriend at the time told you that my boyfriend slept with someone else and you didn't tell me then and you waited 2 years later, I'm going to look at you as also being a bad friend.
Yeah.
So how does that not make Stassi
Because
look bad?
I guarantee you, if the shoe was on the other foot and they knew something about Stassi, it'd be a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Stassi, I mean,
Yeah,
she would have cut them out of her life
Yeah.
forever.
So you knew and you didn't tell me?
you're a bad friend.
Yeah.
Right, because she was mad at Katie a few weeks before about the whole like rumor with Kristen and Jax. It's like, how could you know this months ago and not even tell me anything?
And this is a prime example of that.
I
Yeah.
think they're just scared of Stassi.
Yeah, they're all scared of
So
her.
I think it's like, why is Kristen, when she already has Jax to be mad at and Tom to be mad at, why is she going to get mad at Kristen, Stassi as well?
Well, why is she even mad at Jax?
Because he's a cheater and a liar?
Well, no, why is Kristen mad?
Oh, I don't know. I think they just
'Cause it's
get
easier to
mad
be mad at
because
Jax than her
Stassi's
boyfriend.
mad at him. They just get mad at whoever's mad.
She like deems be mad, and they're like, okay.
Yeah, we're mad. We
Jump.
hate her.
Yeah, it's just...
I think she was mad because they're friends. Like they're actually like good friends. From what we
Kind
can
of.
tell.
I mean, bottom line is, I'm a little bit confused about who slept with who and who did what, but there's 4 people involved, I guess. Stassi, Jax, Ariana, and Tom.
Yes.
The only person that she really should be angry with, Kristen, is Tom.
Yes.
At the end of the day. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. It's not the girl's fault that he cheated. Like, it's his fault. Like, he
It's his
chose
fault.
to do
And
that.
she even said on the preview, like, for the next episode, like, I'm not going to throw him under the bus. So,
Yeah.
I mean, stop asking me. Ask your boyfriend. Like, and the thing is, which I think is really shady, though, is that because she does, the only thing that Ariana is wrong at, she does know that there is some beef there, that she does need to be texting him at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's Tom. He shouldn't be texting another girl at 3 in the morning, let alone Ariana.
Like, if she did text him, he shouldn't respond.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But that's just not... I mean, I think that it is harmless. I do think that their texting is harmless. But if I was in this situation, I would be like, that looks shady to me. Like, why are you texting somebody at 3 o'clock in the morning?
And
Like,
then
somebody
you don't
should be texting me.
respond back to
Nothing
my
good happens
text, but
after
you
midnight.
respond to her.
That is shady.
Nothing good happens
That is
after
shady.
midnight.
Nothing good happens after midnight.
No,
It's nothing but a booty
at all.
call.
Like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah. Let me see your phone.
Show us the text.
Let me see your phone.
I just think that for Kristen, and she says it so many times, and I can sympathize with her because it is really hard when you're in such a long relationship with someone, when you live together, there's so much invested that it's hard to like just end it.
Move on. It's scary.
So it's easy for her to get mad at Jax because whatever, everyone's mad at Jax, and it's not like he's her boyfriend who she's living with. It's easy for her to like point blame at Ariana because, you know, she's just jealous. But if she is mad at Tom, then like she has to do something about her relationship. And that action scares the shit out of her.
And if it's going to continue, if she's going to choose to continue the relationship, she has to let it go.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I would just prefer, regardless, even if she doesn't get mad at Tom and gets mad at everyone else, she's going to be perceived as weak. So I would just rather her be perceived as weak by not getting mad at anyone and just being like, hey guys, that happened 2 years ago. I'm just going to let it go.
Yeah.
I would have more respect for her almost in that instant than I would for her to blame everyone else.
I think that's we talked about this, but I think it's an insecurity issue with her. I think she's just insecure about herself, and if she was secure about the relationship, and I understand someone cheating on you does make your insecurity level go way up, but if it was a while ago, so it's like if you choose to move on, let's move on. Let's not talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just dark. It's like this season is a little dark for me. Like,
But she's not going to leave him because, I mean, obviously the Vegas incident, that was a major situation, and she fought, and then they get back together.
never
I mean,
even
I
broke up.
understand. It's hard. It is very hard. I mean, they just built the IKEA table together. They're like, they're like moving, progressing. Like she said, like, I thought I was going to marry this man. And then now this is a whole new, like, situation. So I get it. But it's like, it has to come to, like, a point. Like, what is enough? When is, like, enough? Enough.
Yeah.
And this is we'll move on into like whenever they go back to the hotel room and Stassi tells Kristen about what Jax told her. This was weird to me, like we said, because if you knew this so many months ago, why didn't you say it then? Like, why do you choose on your trip, on your birthday night, to tell her this when it's going to blow up and be this big explosive thing? Like, I just don't understand that.
I honestly think it was a little cruel.
It was evil.
It was really
It was like Regina George.
very
kind of like,
manipulative and
girls.
cruel.
yeah.
I almost feel like, I mean, I love Stassi in this season. I think she really is the only entertainment on the show, to be totally honest with you. But she's very manipulative.
That's why she's so entertaining, too.
That's why she's so entertaining. And I kind of feel bad for Kristen because obviously she doesn't care about her as a friend. Because if so, you don't do that to your friend. And if so, like, you wait till you get back and be like, look, we need to talk about this. This is what's happening. Like, it's not everyone else's business either.
Like, she didn't need to tell Sheena. I mean, I guess she had to talk to Sheena to see if maybe Ariana had lied and she needed to get the truth out of Sheena. But ask Sheena, not in front of Christina Kelly and Katie and, like, stirring up all this stuff with them.
Or maybe
the last person that needs
or
to be
wait
involved
till
is
you get
Christina.
home, maybe. I don't know.
Or use your manipulation for good, like a Robin Hood type situation where maybe she pulls Jax and Tom to the side and maybe like threatens Tom and says, Tom, you need to tell her.
Right.
And be honest with her, I don't know.
And I mean, what did you think about Sheena running to the boys and saying, asking in front of all of them as well.
Well, at first I thought she was an idiot, but then when she made the comment about the grenade up her ass, I was like, okay, never mind. I support you 100%. Like,
yeah, because he screwed her. He wanted to like make all the girls hate her for that comment. And they did for a minute.
The thing with Jax is I don't even think that he wanted to make all the girls hate her. I think he just wants something that like he can offer to them
Like
where
relevant.
he thinks cool, like something like that he's in.
Yeah.
And that's all he had. And that's the same thing with Stassi. Like, who knows, he could have been making up the whole Tom and Ariana thing. Everyone says he's a compulsive liar.
I mean, that's the case that Tom was making. He was like, he lies about everything. But that's a weird lie to tell.
Right, and the thing is, when Sheena came in and said it, Tom didn't turn to Jax and be like, I didn't do that. Like, when did I ever tell you that? He just sat there like, oh gosh, this is
I'm caught.
I'm caught.
No,
Yeah.
he was like, you got to take care of this.
You have to take care of this. It wasn't like, why are you spreading these lies? Because then if that was
Right.
like a real man, he would go to his girlfriend and be like, hey, I understand all of this is happening. Let me talk to you to the side before this blows up. I'm telling you right now again to reassure you that it didn't happen, and we're not all about to sit here and let all these lies be spread. But he just stands there like, I love you, I'm sorry, it didn't happen, I don't know what else to say.
It's like he's damned if he does and he's damned if he doesn't. Like if he made the case where he was like super defensive, like I didn't do that, she'd be like, you're defensive. Like what she's done to other people on the show, like she would try to bait Ariana that one episode. And so if he is so cool and he's like, I love you, like it didn't happen, like let's move on. I mean, it's just he's screwed
dead,
either way.
well,
like,
he
she
is
doesn't-
screwed because he actually did it. I think that's maybe
I mean,
part of the
I
reason.
think that-
And he cheated
yeah.
in the past, and it doesn't help that he's like guilty. So
Yeah. It's just, I'm like, I can't even imagine. I hope that their home life is better now. I do, because they're obviously together. They were on Watch What Happens Live, and they seem to be getting along really well. And Kristen was throwing some serious shade at Ariana. It wasn't even shade, it was like daggers. I
Like
don't even know.
hatred.
It was hatred. I mean, she was it was scathing. And I understand that, like, as a person, like, the person that they cheated on you with, you would be that way, I guess.
well, see, that would make me. I didn't see Watch What Happens Live because I was here doing another show last night. But see, that makes me think that she's not over it 100% because
She's not,
if you're,
obviously.
which makes me think that she hasn't really forgiven Tom either, which means that she would continue to bring
This
those things
cycle
up
of-
in the future, which is going to continue to add problems to their relationship.
Well, all I'm saying is if season 3, which I'm pretty sure is picked up, I read that today, if they're back on the show, I do not want to hear about this next season. Because we've heard the same stuff for the first 8 episodes of the season from last season, and I'm over it. Like, over it. Done. Just take my notes, because that's really important that you do. All right, so we see them confront each other, and Kristen had, like, a serious breakdown at that pool. I was like, this is vacation. Like, I can't even imagine, like, all these reality show vacations. Like, Housewives, every time they go on a vacation, there's always some cuckoo thing that happens. And it's just ridiculous. Like, I don't understand why this all has to be rehashed, like, in front of people at the resort.
Vacationing.
Yeah. Like, they don't want
Vacationing
your
guys.
bullshit. Like, go up to your room and fight. I don't know. It was just weird. And then, of course, Kristen comes back and is mad at the girls because she runs off and they didn't come find her. And I love how they're, like,
She's
eating.
like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I've been up there 20 minutes.
Yeah, but not for nothing. I'm sorry, but for Stassi to like cause all of that drama, and for yesterday for Katie to run out of the restaurant and Kristen to go follow up with her. Obviously, Kristen is really hurt right now. It'd be nice if someone wanted to be like, look, are you okay? Like, let's just have fun by the pool today.
But I think that they're so exhausted from this whole thing because it's been like probably a year and a half of the same stuff over
Right.
and over and over again. They're finally just probably like,
No, I get
Deal with
that.
it.
Obviously, they really want her to break up with Tom, too.
Yeah.
But Stassi started the entire thing the night before. So I feel like if she cared enough to, like, ruin the rest of her friend's vacation and tell her that her boyfriend's cheating on her, she should care enough to, like,
Console
go upstairs
her.
and be like, hey,
Completely.
you want tequila in the room instead of embarrassing yourself by the pool?
But who does that though? If I am actually upset about something and I were to storm off from a group of friends, maybe it would be nice if someone came to rescue
But
me.
no one does.
But if no one did and I was truly upset about something, I would sit there and cry about it myself and then figure out how I'm going to get home or do whatever. So for her to like come and be like, guys, I've been up there for 20 minutes and no one came to get me yet. Like, is someone gonna like help me get this scene? You know, that to me is a little disingenuous.
Yeah.
I would just
Like for her wanting someone to come chase after her.
Yeah, and then to come, like, if you're really that distraught about it, you're not going to be keeping a timer of, oh, it's been 20 minutes and no one came to get me. You're going to be in your room crying and sad and like sleep or drinking or, you know.
I'm gonna call this out, but I did not see tears when she was crying both times at the pool and at the hotel room.
No.
Stassi was talking to her.
Cry, yeah.
And I mean, I think
maybe we had multiple takes. That's all I'll say.
I mean, it's also hypocritical for her to like want someone to like ruin their fun to console her, because isn't that why she got mad at Katie the night before? Mm-hmm. Because Katie was like arguing with Tom at the table and it was like ruining the birthday dinner, and that's essentially the same thing that's happening at the pool. So it's also hypocritical.
Yeah. And then she calls Lisa and is like, it's Ariana or me.
That was the most ridiculous conversation. Lisa should have been like, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
Is this your last day, girl? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it would have been awesome if Lisa just hung up the phone. Like,
right.
As soon as she said it, just hung up.
Well, I like Guillermo's, like whenever Lisa like tells him what's going on, he's like, well, she should stay in Mexico then.
That's so rude and ridiculous. I honestly
you don't call your boss and say that. Like if Lisa would have come up to Kristen, which she already has, and been like, "Are you okay with Ariana working here?" and Kristen was like, "Yes, I'm fine with it. It's fine." There's your answer. Like, it's up to Lisa for that. Like, I know that it's a part of the show, and I'm sure it was probably scripted for this, but but it's just inappropriate to call your boss and be like, you know.
After she just upgraded you guys' rooms, right? Like, okay, now I need you to fire someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's maybe the. I mean, I agree that it's maybe a little scripted, but I do think that they're so close with Lisa that
it's hard.
It's hard for her to have like a very traditional boss and employee relationship with them.
She's their actual boss, and she's the producer of this show, so it's like.
But remember last year on Stassi's birthday when stuff went down in Vegas and Katie called from the bed, was like, Lisa, you wouldn't believe how crazy last night was. It's like the same thing over and over again. Like, literally, like, the season couldn't be any different.
You just put different characters in like the other characters' places, and it's the same.
It's so stupid and so pathetic. And I'm sorry, like, call your boss when you get back from Mexico.
It's just ridiculous. And
that is a good point that you make, though, because it's like, even though Lisa probably doesn't condone her employees at the restaurant calling her, for the show's sake, she wants it.
Yeah.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah. Like, it's such a conflict of interest. Yeah. It's like ridiculous. I don't know. I don't even know. I just don't know how it works, but I guess it does.
To be working at SUR.
And not be on the show.
Because they are probably awful.
Nightmares.
Right.
Awful.
I have a little inside scoop on that.
Okay, good. I can't wait to hear it.
Yes. All right, dirt, honey. Then we see the pirate ship. And this was fun. I was like, they're actually having fun. Like, that's cute. And then, of course, Jack shows up and there's some drama. But those girls, and I'm going to call it out, producers, that was so scripted for him to show up with 7 girls. Like, that's ridiculous. That doesn't happen. That wouldn't happen. He wouldn't do that, I don't think.
And he's like, they're nice girls. How do you know they're nice?
Yeah, you just met them at the gym, he said.
I see a PA, like,
all
running.
All 7 of them. Come on, let's go.
I see the image of, like, a PA, like a young PA, like running down the streets of Cabo, like with like release forms in their hand, like, hey girls, so like you guys are pretty cool. Like, do you want to be on like an episode of Vanderpump Rules? Yeah, the one that's on Bravo. Like, come on, yeah. And then gathering them, like maybe like 2 or 3 groups of friends that kind of like merged for this scene.
Right.
Like, I see it so
100%.
clearly in my head.
Promise them alcohol or something. Like, I don't know.
We're going on a booze cruise.
Yeah.
Do you want to come?
Yeah. Sign
here. Okay, let's go.
And then, of course, it's like this whole scripted situation.
And then there's probably like that one friend that's like, yeah, guys, come on, let's do it. And all the other girls are like, she's such a whore.
Totally. And then I love that they all, like, as soon as they get to the club, like, Jax, I feel like he's not even around them. And then he leaves with them again, but he's with that one little short girl.
But he walks right in and says, Stassi, I'm sorry. What? Like, you know what you're doing.
Like, he knows exactly what he's doing. And the producers know exactly what they're doing to probe him to do that stuff. I can't. This was a funny. I liked it. I wanted to talk about this. The spin the bottle scene. That was really cute. I was like, it's actually kind of fun without Jax being there.
I'm sorry, but I think that what we learned from Spin the Bottle is that Kristen has more to worry about Tom being interested in Tom than Tom being interested in Ariana.
Tom Schwartz is
That's all I
real
have to
cute
say
though.
about that.
He could turn you. He could turn him.
He is. Tom Schwartz is adorable and really cute, but Tom Sandoval was way too interested in making out with Tom Schwartz, and I'm sorry.
He's like, finally.
That's the truth, and we all saw it.
Oh my
Please
God.
rewind that part of the episode and watch him being like, no! Because he was excited. Just saying. It happened.
I can't. But, okay, so we talked about the little club part, so let's move on to when Stassi and Katie go to wake up Kristen from her hangover-ness. I don't know how you even say that. Her big hangover in Tom's bed. Tom did make a good point. He was like, if she wants to have sex with her boyfriend, at least it's with her boyfriend, you know? But I do think that Stassi and Katie have probably reached a level where they're like completely over. I mean, that's Stassi said, I'm done. I'm seriously done. Like if my friend was doing that, I'd be like, I can't talk to you about this anymore.
Oh, yeah. Totally. But I think the bigger issue in this is that none of the girls were sleeping with their boyfriends in the beginning. Like, why is Shayna the only one
I guarantee you
with her
Stassi
boyfriend?
was like, I'm not allowing any of you to sleep in the room with your boyfriend.
It's my
They have to
birthday.
sleep together and we have to sleep together.
That's so weird.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it's my birthday.
Yeah, you're sleeping with me. I choose.
Especially since she doesn't have anyone to sleep with. Because
Right.
Even though I
Yeah,
kinda-
she would be by herself.
or with Christina
Exactly.
Kelly.
You should be
Yeah.
with Christina.
I kind of think it'd be funny if they gave like Stassi this giant like penthouse and then made them all stay in like little small rooms. Would that have been hilarious?
Yes.
We've heard Lisa's comments where she's like, Stassi's my favorite one on the show.
Yeah.
But I think now it's competition with Sheena.
Yeah.
Because remember, she bought Sheena the dress for her birthday.
But on Watch What Happens Live, on the season premiere of Vanderpump Rules, Lisa said Stassi was her favorite.
Really?
And she said it again on
She
E!
said-
News, too.
But I think
But
it's from the
it's 'cause it's
standpoint of the
Pandora.
show. Of the show. As an employee, maybe I'm sure Sheena's
and
better.
she's friends, and she works with Pandora.
Right.
So.
Yeah, so she has to say that. But I mean, that whole fight with Katie and all them. I mean, I'm proud of them for standing up for themselves and being like, "This is the line. We've reached our point, and this is it. We're done with you." And then Kristen, it's just like this weird cycle of it just makes me sad. Like it makes me sad sometimes to watch. I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't know.
It is really sad because, I mean, we've met Kristen several times here. We've had her. She's really nice.
She's fun. She's always fun
Yeah,
with us.
And she's super cool whenever she's here, but obviously it's just, like we said over and over again, it's just like this insecurity that's really deep. And, I mean, her relationship struggles are her business, and it just is unfortunate that it all played out for everyone to see
Yeah.
in this sort of way.
Yeah. So let's move into some news and gossip.
Yes.
Yes. All right. And okay, the news and gossip I want to talk about is Stassi moving to New York.
Oh, yeah.
They filmed a reunion on Friday. Stassi moves to New York on Sunday, this past week.
Boom.
Good for
Boom.
her.
And like we said, we were talking about this English before, like she has been in New York so much.
Right.
And I found out a little inside scoop from an unmentionable source. I won't even say who told me.
From a reliable source.
From a very reliable source who happens to be on the show. And she told me that Stassi hasn't been working at SUR for 2 months. So it's been a minute. So Stassi's been planning her exit. I mean, I don't... And then I saw this interview, Jack said a little something on Twitter today, and he said that he didn't know Stassi was going to be on the next season. I don't know if I'd personally watch the show if she wasn't on it, because I think it's really interesting with her on it. But I do think that Bravo should give her a spinoff. Life in New York. Stassi hits the city. What do you think? What do you girls think?
I think it'd be more interesting than another season of Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
I
She
would
needs some minions, though.
Yeah.
It's funny how she controls all of them, and so that would be good.
Well, she has a new man. They'll probably like plant her at a job or something.
Yeah, like at Cosmo or something.
I would like it if it was completely independent from Vanderpump Rules. I don't want it to be like Stassi's in New York, but she's still taking phone calls from Jax, or she's still
Yeah.
dealing with drama back
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
back in LA.
But
I
I
would want it to be just her in the city.
I feel like
making a
she's
life.
done, though, with, like, Jax.
Well,
Yeah.
she has a new boo.
Yeah, she's
So-
over it. And there's some other stuff that I think comes out in a few of these next few episodes that's going to
So
really...
she might be done with a few more people than just Jax.
So Jax should go ahead and get that tattoo removed.
Yes, or like put like a block over it. I don't know what
Right.
she do with that. Ooh.
He'll figure it out.
And then I found some other little news and gossip out that the reunion, it turns out it was really, really crazy. And Ariana was there, so we'll see some drama with, of course, with Kristen and Ariana. So that'll be awesome.
I wonder if Kristina was there too.
I mean, I don't see why she would be, though.
She doesn't really
She
say
doesn't have
much.
a storyline.
Yeah, she doesn't offer anything.
Yeah. She might be like what Peter did last season, where he like comes in and brings them drinks.
Right.
Oops. There's your contract. Oops. I mean, I guess it's better than just not being on the show if they're going to be on it. And then I found another little inside scoop for someone that works at SUR. She says that the cast members are a nightmare to work around.
I could
I'm
imagine.
sure.
They probably honestly think they're like celebrities
Probably.
and are probably divas and probably don't want to actually do their job when they're there.
I mean, I feel like it would be hard to be on the show and then go in and serve, like
Right.
give people bread. Like it's
Are they actually serving people while filming? Or is it all like staged?
I've heard.
Staged.
It has to be.
We've seen some things.
we can speculate.
We can speculate.
Okay.
It's staged.
And it's a little staged.
Okay.
Some of them take
So
time
then they're
off
not
while
even
they're
actually
filming.
working.
Yeah. But during the off season when they're not filming,
They are
actually
working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, this is really funny. I was helping a client the other day that was visiting from Alabama with his wife, and it was her 30th birthday, and she happens to be obsessed with Vanderpump Rules.
Oh, God.
Like, ridiculously obsessed. They were here for, 5 days, and at this point, it was like maybe their 4th day in, and they went to SUR already twice.
What?
I was like, this is so y'all got some crazy fans out there. Good for you.
It's a tool. I mean, it's the smartest business model. It really is. But let's move into some predictions.
Okay.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I'm going to go ahead and predict that next week, I think that Stassi will be done with Kristen, but I feel like there's going to be something else that comes out where she's going to be really done with her. So that's my little prediction.
I predict that Kristen accuses Ariana again of hooking up with Tom, and she's like, you know what, I didn't before, but I'm gonna do it now, and goes and makes out with him in front of her.
Ooh.
That's
Yes.
juicy.
Yes.
All my children. General Hospital.
That was good.
Soap opera.
That was good. I like that.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's just gonna be done with Kristen. I feel like Stassi, everyone is just completely done, and she's just the Lone Ranger at this point.
I think that we're going to see Jax try to hook up with more women to make Stassi angry.
Yeah.
I don't think that storyline is done yet.
That's like a storyline
Very
that plays for the
fair
rest of
prediction. Yeah,
for the rest of eternity.
It's running on a loop. But you can find me on Twitter at Jake_DuPree, on Instagram at Jake DuPree, and my website, JakeDuPree.com.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Miss Zias.
You can find me at Pink English on Instagram.
I'm Michelle Renee, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Michelle Renee TV.
We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.